Nolan! Where are you going, Nolan? That's not the right direction, Nolan. Hey, Nova Ones, look at what I found. A fellow hater of Nolan. Okay, I'm joking. Maybe. Roger Maxson, 15,000 subscribers, tells us black actors in white roles, The Odyssey, a different take. Well, I'm curious to see what kind of take we've got, and without further ado.
I love the Iliad, the Odyssey, the Aeneid, and to some degrees, Dante.
Oh, Dante Alighieri, my man, La Divina Commedia. First bonus point for him.
These stories are all connected, and it's interesting to me to see the nuanced connections, references to Greek mythological terms and places in the Christian New Testament, like Peter's use of the word Tartarus, or in the book of Acts, St. Paul being faced with a woman possessed of a serpentine spirit, which is a reference to the cult of Apollo and the oracle of Delphi, suggesting that this oracle was actually essentially a slave. She had handlers, and she was possessed of a demon. But the demon knew who Paul was because he knew what Christ was. And Paul just casually got annoyed and cast the demon out, and then the woman became worthless to her handlers.
Man, could you imagine? Goodness gracious, Paul. Way to show off. Like, literally, when you get, like, maxed out on your levels to a point that a demon just annoys you. It's annoying. Come on, I've got a lunch appointment. Demon. It's, yeah. OP nerf next patch, I suppose.
It's fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
If you watch this channel, you know I find the ancient world absolutely fascinating.
Once again, tell me about it.
The Iliad, I've got multiple translations. Fagel's translation is good.
Best. Yep.
Is one of my favorite stories of all time. There are a few stories I could live in. That's one of them. But I also love the Odyssey. Here's a Lattimore's translation. I've got Fagel's translation. Here's Fagel's. And here's a new translation by Stephen Mitchell. It's a little more accessible to modern audiences. But
define modern audiences. Also, did you notice that there is one translation that is missing on the pile of books? Gee, I wonder why!
But Fagel's is probably one of the better ones. Controversy over the movie.
Yeah.
Setting aside, look, Christopher Nolan is one of my favorite filmmakers, living filmmakers. The Dark Knight trilogy, at least the first two.
This setup sounds to me, the reason why I haven't flipped the table yet, this setup sounds to me as, look, Christopher Nolan, I like him so much, Batman, but this is woke shit. That's what it sounds like, okay?
Interstellar, Inception, movies that cause you to think and approach the level of actual art compared to so much just rubbish and trash out there in cinema. You take my favorite filmmaker, one of them, in one of my favorite stories, and you think I would just be ecstatic about this movie. But like everyone else, I've got concerns.
Concerns for me would be the understatement of the century. I need professional help.
But I want to set aside the potentially questionable casting for Achilles.
Oh, Achilles.
I want to set aside the costume designs. I want to set aside what perhaps irks me most so far, and that is the American dialect, accents, and very casual slang-like talk, which to me doesn't seem fitting of a Tolkien movie or a rendition of the Odyssey.
You know, it's interesting you say that, because that is the thing that annoyed me the least! But I respect diversity of thought.
And talk about one thing that's been causing controversy.
Yeah, what's that?
The casting for Helen of Troy.
All right. This is it. True test of character, guys. What is he going to say?
I have a different take on this.
Right. What's that?
And the Oscar goes to Lupita Nyong'o.
She is, I've seen her in a movie before, I can't remember what it was, and I do remember being struck by thinking, this is a beautiful woman. But that's really not the controversy, is it? The controversy is twofold. One, this is supposed to be the most beautiful woman in the world, the woman whose beauty launched 1,000 ships. And
he laughed. He laughed.
The woman whose beauty launched 1,000 ships.
That's a brother of mine. Bro, if I recognize one when I see it, same cut from the same cloth, I know it.
And two, let's state the obvious, and I'll be very candid here.
Please.
She's a black woman. Helen of Troy was not black.
Yeah.
Helen of
Okay, so guys, that alone, we need to leave a good comment. We need to leave a comment and put a like to his video. Why, you say? He's stating the obvious, what nobody else does. They are all cowards. They either pretend it's not, they don't even see it. Oh, yeah, I like the costume because the skill of the actors, and they pretend it's not a thing. Or they say they like it because they're afraid of being called racist. Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
she's a black woman.
Yes.
Helen of Troy was not black.
Was not
so
black.
let's cut to the chase. Some people will say that if you have an objection to this casting, you are a fascist, racist, Nazi, yada, 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 yada. There are some racists who have a problem with this casting.
Of course.
But the majority of people who object to it are not really racist. Certainly not fascist, and certainly not Nazis.
This guy is spewing facts. Sorry, I call him this guy. Roger, Mr. Maxon is spewing facts. Facts, you know. Nolan, the things you don't care about. The truth.
So set that aside for a moment. Another element at play is some people think that, well, they're going to complain that she's only being cast because she's black. This is what did Rush Limbaugh used to say?
DEI.
This is
DEI.
I guess the phrasing now would be she's a DEI
Thank you.
hire.
DEI hire. Yep.
Affirmative action hire, as Limbaugh would say.
Right.
For me, an element is I have an issue with the casting of several of the roles. I don't know that Anne Hathaway is right for Penelope.
Yeah, brother, I have an issue with every single role so far. There isn't one that I like. That's just what it is.
No offense to her, I don't think she's the greatest actress in a role of this. Yeah. She played Catwoman. Nolan likes to reuse actors. She played Catwoman. Didn't do it for me. I like Matt Damon. I struggle to see him as Odysseus.
Because he's not Odysseus.
Or Ulysses. So that
or Ulysses, of course.
That aside, too, the question I'd like to ask is, can black people play roles traditionally played by white people because those roles or those characters traditionally are from white cultures?
Okay, so I'm going to give you my answer. Also, no need for this. It is white cultures. But let me just say it. Here's my answer. You ready? It's going to be very deep. No. Thank you. But let's see his alternative one. But this is mine. And of course, the other way around too. The other way around too. It's traditional black. You already know. You don't play it with a white. Fine. Okay.
Is that ever acceptable? I thought a lot about this. My short understanding is, in some situations, yes, it's acceptable. Because I think the factors at play here are good faith, maybe not with this movie, but hypothetically. And I hope...
Very hypothetically. Like, I'm letting him speak, okay? And then I'll tell you what I think, right? But this is a massive hypothetic here.
With this movie, good faith,
faith,
and a hermeneutic of mutual celebration and participation rather than competition.
Okay, so basically it's fantasy. No, I appreciate that. No, I mean, I'm not being disrespectful. Again, I still really like this guy. I think we've got a kind of a very similar mentality. But I want to say this. I appreciate your hypothetical. So yeah, if you got the way I understand it, I'm sure you'll go deeper. If you it's fine in very certain cases to race swap an original white character with a black actor if they do it in a way that it's in good faith, with celebration and respect. Am I right? Is that what you're saying? Well, Hollywood, never gonna happen in a million years. Like, this is, we might as well, this is the Lord of the Rings level of fantasy, my friend. Like, this is really high fantasy. It's not low fantasy, this is high fantasy. Like, I get it, okay? I understand that. I would still disagree, by the way, because I still think no race swapping. That's my take. But I can respect a person with a different position. Like, he might say, no, for me, in very certain situation, as long as it's done with respect, I'm fine with it. That's his position. I disagree, but I would be okay with it as long as it's logically consistent. So, would you also be okay if it's a historical black character that has been race swapped with a white actor, but it's done with respect and good faith? The answer has to be yes, for me to respect your take. You know what I mean? Because consistency is necessary even in a scenario where we have to agree to disagree. Let's continue.
My issue with characters like this being race swapped is that often it's done by people in Hollywood or the elite academic classes.
Yeah.
Because they have been convinced of this hermeneutic of race struggle, class struggle,
Marxism,
where they see every social phenomenon in terms of oppressor and oppressed.
I mean, he's based, guys. This guy's based. That's right. That's right.
Of struggle.
Yeah.
They would like to take the marginalized groups or the people that they see as the oppressor class and have them gain power over
the other way around.
Or the oppressed class gain power over the oppressor.
Yep.
Too often what that means is if you're a quote-unquote straight, I think all that's made up. Straight, heterosexual, white, Christian, traditionally masculine male, or traditionally feminine female.
Ooh, that's the Antichrist for the elites in Hollywood. That's like holy water sprinkled on that devil himself.
Well, then we got to take you down a few pegs and put a transgender person, a homosexual person, a Puerto Rican person, whatever they see, whatever class they see as in the margins, and bring them towards the center, as Derrida would say.
That's correct. It's exactly how they feel, which is why it's not in good faith, which is why, and there's no celebration. In fact, there's deletion of what is perceived, everything he said precisely, which is why I will fight it until the end of days.
And so it almost is never the case. The same people who applaud a black woman portraying Helen of Troy, they often would criticize, and I've seen them do it, when a white male plays a Jewish role or any other race.
That is so true. Exactly. It's the lack of equality. It is the exact lack of equality of treatment which any decent person would expect. No, they don't, but then they pretend to be the anti-racist. It's, oh my gosh, it's diabolical. He's explaining it perfectly, though. We need to give it to him. This is really good. Really well-made video so far.
And that's what people sometimes on the right would point out.
That's me.
It never goes the other way, does it? You can't have Muhammad Ali played by a Korean man. Can't have,
or dare I say a white man, even worse. There are degrees to this.
Have him played by a Jewish man. Can't have him played by a... You take the point.
Right.
All right. My take is slightly different.
Okay, let's see.
Yes, when people convinced of the extremities, I would say, of a critical race theory, of Marxism, of this general narrative oppressor-oppressed class, seeing all phenomena as a class struggle. Yes, it's often done in bad faith. It's often done to rage bait, knowing full well that they're going to get engagement. It's done to replace or to stick it in the eye of anyone who doesn't fit in with their ideology.
Man, facts.
But I don't think it has to be like that. So many of the actors who play, let's say in the movie Troy, some of these folks I think were Welsh or, various British actors. Okay. They're not actually Greek or descendants of Trojans. When we say white, we're lumping in a lot of different traditional ethnicities and people.
That's true, but you also do that with black, in fact, even more so, but I might expand more. And I'm talking about phenotypic traits in that, but maybe later, if it's relevant.
Why is it that that isn't a problem for us? It's not racism. It's because the Brits, including the Welsh, or even to some degree the Italians, the Spanish, the Irish, the Americans, anybody in Western civilization are seen as the inheritors of Greco-Roman society. Totally. So me, I'm a mutt. I'm part Irish, part Native American Indian, like many people.
Awesome.
I've got a lot of stuff going on, but I am the inheritor of Western civilization.
100%.
It's fragmenting, it's crumbling, but we are the inheritors of a civilization cultural heritage. So I'm not Greek, but I love the Iliad and the Odyssey. I think that I can participate in these things.
100%.
It is my cultural inheritance. So set aside what I think is the aggressive, deliberate, globalist elite forcing excessive amounts of immigration into England and various parts of the Western world.
Yeah, it is a mess, isn't it?
Set all that aside for a moment.
Okay.
Some people came here, immigrated here, because they were forced to, their ancestors were.
Right.
Some people came here and they immigrated from different parts of the world, and they did it legitimately. What I think would be the best thing to do, I think that those people should embrace Western culture.
100%. Okay, this guy's based. Like, we gotta tell him. We're gonna tell him in the comments. Metatron says you're based. Go tell him, because this is exactly it. It's what we call assimilating. Assimilating. You see, just want to expand on that a little bit, because I do like this point. I've emigrated 3 times, multiple times in my life, but mostly 3 times. I lived in 3 different continents. I lived in Europe, I lived in Asia, and now I live in America. Every single time, I have done it legally, with respect towards the people and the culture that I was being welcomed in. Okay? I spoke the language every single time. I've learnt it, put in the work as a form of respect. I respect the laws of the country. I adapt my behavior to follow that of the peoples whose land I am now inhabiting, thanks to their acceptance towards me, of me. So I am assimilating here. I mean, I'm becoming a citizen this month. I was as American citizens, as I said many times already. You already know this. Does that mean that I have to delete my personal heritage as an Italian? No. No, I bring it here, but I offer it as a gift to those who are interested. Meaning, if you ask me, hey, can we speak to me in Italian? I like it. I'll speak a few sentences. If you tell me, can you teach me something in Italian? I'll do it. But otherwise, out of respect, I'll only speak English in this country when there are Americans who don't speak my language in the same room, as a form of respect. If I'm alone, or if I'm with my cousin in my room, we will speak all the Italian we want. Do you see? It's a subtle difference, but it's important. And it's the same thing with my culture, with my habits, with my food. I bring them as gifts, but I will rejoice in those things that instead kind of make us all Americans. Let's make it this way. Now, clearly, my son is going to be more American than me because he was born here. But I can participate because I'm willing to assimilate and respect. This is how it works. And I agree with him. Yeah, people are willing to do this, assimilate it, and actually contribute. Great. If they hate us, kick them out.
I think they should be allowed to embrace Western culture.
Yeah.
This cultural heritage. So I'll give you a couple of examples. Denzel Washington played in
excellent
a
actor.
movie version of Macbeth.
That was almost theatrical in a way.
I don't think it was the best version, but the man did a pretty decent job. I didn't like that he had basically an American accent, but he's not Scottish. Macbeth was Scottish. Mm-hmm. Denzel is not. And yet what I saw that was not a competition with, I'm just trying to replace white culture.
Yeah, it's because it was a while ago. It was before all of this, to be honest, first. It's the intent. It's the anti-European, anti-Western desire. That's what it is. That's what makes it so awful.
I saw it as a participation in, because he is just as American as I am.
I can appreciate that. I would still rather go for no swapping whatsoever, particularly in this, because we have to consider this, Roger. I think you're of course, you're clearly very intelligent, very cultured, educated person, but I can tell this guy is a good guy. Like, you can tell. Now, given, how can I tell? Well, by the things he's saying. Like, you can tell this guy hasn't got a speck of racism in him, hasn't got a speck of discrimination in him, the real ones. And you can tell that the guy, I mean, we probably agree on a lot of things, I can tell already. But I can also see that the way he expresses himself, the way the things he's saying, the way he's like welcoming, you can tell this guy is welcoming. It's not enough, though. I can see it. Do you think the radical left-wing nut jobs that run that satanic cult that is Hollywood see something like this and think, oh, you know, that's quite a moderate take? Not a chance. You're still a Nazi fascist in their head. Like anything you said, that Lupita Nyong'o is a beautiful woman, that you loved Denzel Washington, they don't care. Doesn't matter. To the cultists, means nothing. You're still a fascist. Wasted breath. I mean, not on me. Okay, not on me. I can see your intent. I disagree. I think still no race swapping. Why? Because we don't inhabit this beautiful version of the world that you are now presenting. It's nice, but it's utopic. We don't live there. And so in this world where we live, then there is nothing. But would I take your version of race swapping to the one they do? Oh my gosh, 1,000,000 times. I'd be like, yeah, go ahead, have fun. But that's not the world we inhabit, and because we have to counter the race swap, then the only way to counter it is not with moderation, but it's with the complete and utter rejection. That's my opinion. I respect his, I respect yours, and I think yours is more beautiful in a subtle way. But I don't think it's effective. I don't think it's doable in this world that we inhabit with these kind of people that hate everything about us.
I think all Westerners, white, black, anything else, Welsh, Scottish, Irish, Italian, Spanish, should all be remembering our cultural heritage and celebrating it and participating in it. I think we've been robbed of it by the last several generations, and I've seen this decline happening more and more for centuries.
True.
But particularly in the last 100 years, I'd say post-World War I, post-World War II. By the time you and I came along, well, we've been robbed. It's time for us to remember, to recover it. And in that way, I think it's fantastic.
And they're still robbing. With the decolonization of the curriculum, it's going on. Now is the time to defend it. That's the reality. We need to colonize the curriculum, guys.
Is the best possible outcome for people like Denzel Washington or others who are not white to celebrate, participate in our shared cultural heritage.
Yeah, fine. After we defeat our enemy, then I'm fine. I'm cool with that. But first, we need to block this nonsense. That's at least my take. Very based, awesome channel. Remember to click the link in the description. Subscribe to him. Thank you very much for the video, Roger. Really appreciated it. Have a good one. If you appreciate my content so far and wish to help ensure my ability to continue to tell it how it is, regardless of any possible backlash, please support this channel on Patreon. Any support helps me and my team of academics keep the channel strong and gives us the means to fight back against the political rewriting of history.